I'm Michelle with 2 L's.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of Entertainment. And we are here today to continue our episode per episode spoiler review of Stranger Things Season 4. And today we're going to be discussing Chapter 4, Dear Billy. When I first saw they released about a week ago the length of each episode and the titles of each episode, this title stood out to me. I literally retweeted ooh, Dear Billy, sounds like that's going to be an interesting episode.
Yeah.
And I definitely have to say that it was. This episode, of course, you guys know from the previous two, I thought the last two were really good.
Yeah.
But this one got great.
This one took it up a notch.
Yeah, this one.
This was, overall, this was just a really great episode, in my opinion.
Oh, it was an excellent episode. Lots of stuff going on in all these episodes, but definitely the heart of this episode deals with Max and the group that is in Hawkins, even though the other characters are spread throughout this episode.
It does such a good job with the pacing on the show and kind of thing to thing, so you're never really getting bored. It just goes.
Yes, yeah, definitely,
but not in a bad way.
Yeah, and with Mike, Jonathan, and Will, they, of course, decide to go back to Hawkins, and they have that scene where that other government agency comes and is just shooting up their house. And I thought that scene was actually kind of a cool scene for Stranger Things. You don't usually have that type of action in Stranger Things. And I thought the way they even filmed it felt like you were in the room.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty cool scene.
I thought that was shot really cool. It definitely, your anticipation was there watching it.
Yes, definitely. And then, unfortunately, the one guy dies. That he was a boss, by the way.
Yeah.
He just so calmly would reload and just starts. I mean, there were a lot sit after them.
I shoot, you run. I mean, he was taking care of business.
He was, and unfortunately,
he needed a raise, and unfortunately, he got too soon.
Unfortunately,
demotion.
Unfortunately, he died. That was sad.
That was very sad.
But then you also, what's the guy's name who picks him up? The new character?
Oh, Argyle.
Argyle, yeah, he was pretty funny when he left him a memorial when they dumped him in the desert. And then Jonathan's probably not best you do that. And he's like, oh, these names are really common.
Right. Argyle, super common.
Yeah, super common name. And then, of course, we get we've got Joyce and Murray, and they're trying to get Hopper, but they get double-crossed. And so Hopper's escape fails when we see Hopper because everyone's been double-crossed.
Right. Yes, everybody.
Because Yuri is, he's trying to double up his money here. So he sells them all out. Everybody, including the prison guard. Everyone's sold out.
And Yuri is awful, but Yuri, he made me laugh several times.
He is pretty funny.
And just the way he kept his thing, he'll say something really serious that makes people uncomfortable, but then he's it just starts, and it's something else. I don't know. He was a fun little addition.
Did you see it coming he was going to double cross him? I kind of had a feeling maybe.
He seemed a little suspicious once they got in there kind of talking to him. And after that, it wasn't a huge surprise.
I had a feeling maybe. And I actually had the thought when he was like, do you want some coffee? I was like, don't drink that coffee, girl. Don't do it.
It's weird how sometimes as a viewer, it's so inconspicuous, but you're like, I just have a feeling.
Well, you just know how shows are.
Exactly.
So yeah, it doesn't end well for them. They're taking off with Yuri and they're out of it.
Murray and Yuri.
Yeah, Murray and Yuri, as he points out to him. But then the hardcore, the core of this episode, of course, deals with Max. And at the last episode, she'd figured out the connection and she realized basically she was marked for death.
Yeah.
And then you get Robin and Nancy are back. And then finally Lucas shows up.
Yes.
And Lucas has chosen that he's gonna stay with his nerds.
He has chosen the light side.
He has. So he's gonna help him out. And let's see, Nancy and Robin, they form a plan to get to talk to, what's his name? Victor?
They're taking care of business, getting down to speak to Victor.
Yeah.
The guy from the Vector curse situation.
Yeah, and the dude who plays that guy, he's been in a lot of horror. He was in those
well, he was also in what was that show recently that we just watched the last thing of with Ruth Langmore and Remember?
Oh no, you're talking about the young version of him. I'm talking about the older one. He was in some of Sam Raimi's big horror movies.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they got him for that role.
Well, he was good. He was very. I mean, obviously,
he does creepy stuff a lot.
Added to it, but his voice and the way they did it, it was very daunting.
It was like he's kind of known for that. So that was kind of, you know, how Stranger Things picks people for those type reasons.
Right.
So he was there. And I would say that scene when they got to go back and when Nancy and Robin got to go speak with Victor, it had like straight up Hannibal vibes.
Yeah.
Like when they walked down that hallway, it literally looked like straight out of Hannibal to me.
And then his reveal.
Yeah, you're like, didn't see that one coming. Oh, and that was creepy when he goes through like what happened in the 50s.
Yes, very creepy. To me, that was one of the, for some reason, the creepiest, like the wife, like when she goes up.
Oh, it was, well, the kids are there, man.
Yeah,
it was brutal.
Just like that. It was very dark. And then his vision of being back in France, or like he's showing him, like that was brutal.
And like that baby's burning. Yeah, it was rough, guys. It was rough. It was a tough thing to watch. But then you've got, so they are able to figure out the connection to, you gotta love how Stranger Things does it, because right as Steve gets to Max, who her little note to Billy was sweet.
It was really sweet.
It was very sweet that she says to him at the grave. Oh, the scene with Billy was creepy too, with the mom, because that's where he first gets her. You know, the creature,
right? Yeah,
where he like pretends to be her mom, and
very creepy.
That was really creepy.
And it's like, and then I'm like thinking, is that something they really said, or is it just like the monster just, you know, or this guy, he just comes up with stuff that they're feeling guilty about at that point? So it was super creepy, like psychologically.
Oh, definitely. And so then her little note to Billy, I think, was a nice touch. And it's, thank God Steve was like, I'm going to get her. Something's wrong.
Right.
And that's when they are able to radio Nancy and Robin,
who've just gotten kind of a bit of information, kind of by accident, really, that music can be helpful to kind of bring you back. Yeah, kind of like trigger, you know, who you are, maybe, or something.
Yes, and in classic Stranger Things fashion, right at the nick of time, they're able to sprint back to outrun the security guards and get the walkie-talkie,
which is going to be all over now. TikTok, which I know it is.
Yeah, you know, that song, it's going to be played everywhere.
That running
by
up
people.
The Kate Bush song,
and it really was like a great song selection.
It was. Okay, so then we've got the Max thing.
Oh, well, and we get Billy back again.
Oh, yeah, we get to see Billy.
I need to point out that the dude who plays him, this is the second time. He did it last season.
The tear?
The one tear streams down his eyes, and it's like, I don't know.
The guy is good.
He is good, because
he's not just cute. He's a good actor too.
Because like in season 3, when that happened, you felt there was something in Billy that was hating this was happening, and he couldn't control it. And I just appreciate the callback to season 3 with the one tear going down his eye when he talks to her.
Yeah, that good and that realistic that make it Billy-like, even though it's like, it's really not Billy, of course. It's this monster infiltrating her mind.
That monster. I'm ready for him to be toast.
Yes.
Like, he needs to go. He sucks.
He does. He sucks big time.
He's awful. But so then, as I said, as Stranger Things does, in the nick of time, Dustin's able to bring all those thank God he had a lot of music options there. Or I think, I don't know if they were hers or his.
But they just happen to know kind of what she'd been listening to, I guess.
Yes, and that was cool. As they put it, right as they put them on her head, zoom, and she just goes up, and you're like, oh, man.
Yes, and I thought that was just like, it was such a cool scene visually, and just, you know, the parallels, even emotionally, like she's just like deciding to choose life, really, like choose to run for her life and like reject the lies that she's being told and run towards the truth.
Well, I even thought back, because I know people
maybe that's looking too deep into
it. No, I think when when season 1 came out, people kind of related the upside down to like chronic depression.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that scene was almost their call, like kind of going that way of like people that have grieved or have like tremendous guilt, and like literally the little hole like that she could run through to like the light.
Yeah.
And being able to run to the light. Yeah, that whole scene.
It was powerful.
It was really, it was a powerful scene. It was an awesome scene. And of course, the way they all kind of work together. And then you've got to appreciate Max, who really has grown into a character you love just as much as any of them.
Oh, totally.
You know, first appearing in season 2. And even, let's say this, like Lucas, like one outstanding guy, like when he's like, you know, talk to me. And of course that comes back to her when she's in that world. And
we need more Lucases out there.
We really do. And you gotta love Max too, that she was gonna run. You were like, run, Max, like don't give up, like keep going in this. And yeah, it really was a powerful scene as she runs through. I mean, first like slices the creature
and just all that stuff coming at her,
and then the music rolling.
It's just like it was victorious.
It was a pretty awesome. It was an epic way to end the scene, and I mean the episode. And then it kind of to me was a callback of season 1 where 11, Dustin, and Mike all hug each other at the ravine, like all of them, like when Max is back, like they just kind of, there's like a tender moment between everyone there.
And it's almost like she's kind of had an awakening that she sees the truth again. And like kind of when she wakes up from that, it's like she kind of looks around like, oh, these people genuinely care about me.
Yes.
Like, I'm not alone.
Yes, it really was. Yeah, like a waking up moment. And that's why that scene was just like so powerful again, because it was kind of, you know, choosing to kind of come out of your depression, to leave your guilt behind, and just to move forward, kind of type thing. I don't know. I think they actually
rejecting the lies and believing the truth.
I think they actually were going for that, really.
Yeah,
I think that's why the scene works so much.
That's how I kind of emotionally read into it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's where that episode ends. And guys, I love this episode. I mean,
this was a great episode.
It was really good. So out of hoots, I give this one 5 hoots.
I mean, without a doubt, 5 hoots.
Yeah, this episode was awesome. It was awesome. It really allowed.
It was pretty epic, honestly.
It really allowed Sadie Sink as Max to shine, I would say. But it was a really awesome episode. I enjoyed it. So that's our thoughts on Chapter 4, Dear Billy. What did you guys think of this episode? Share below what you guys think. And if you have not yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also give the video a thumbs up. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
and let's continue on our Stranger Things journey together.
Yes, yeah, we'll have.
We wanted this to be very interactive.
Let
us know all your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah, what are you guys thinking? And our Chapter 5 review will be out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, remember to be a force of light. All right.